it's Lee from coloringqueen.net, and today I want to show you the Shuttle Art gel pens. Now there are 360 in the pack, 180 gel pens that consist of glitter gel pens, neon glitter, pastel, regular pens, swirl pens and neon gel pens. Now they come in 9 packs of 20 gel pens in each pack. And before I bought them, I read some reviews. Some were really positive and some said that they were very scratchy and very hard to work with. But I bought them for the range of colours, and because they had refills, I wanted them to use in a colouring book, which I'll be showing later on in the video. And I didn't have enough gel pens from my supermarket brands to get the colour matching that I wanted. So I hope that these ones will work and that they'll suit the purpose that I bought them for. So the plastic packet that they come in is extremely flimsy. You'd be better off putting them into a pencil case or something like that. It's not going to last very long. Now the pens come in trays, so there's 9 trays with 20 pens in each. They have glitter down the barrel if you're picking up a glitter pen, cap on the end with the colour and colour at the end cap there. Excuse my nails, I've been working in the garden. And the big problem for me is that they're not labelled at all. So when you want to find the refill, which is in a packet, separate packet like this, you have to match up the tray number. So tray number 1 there with the refill pack here, and sort through and find your pen. So because I might put them into a pencil case, I took them out and numbered them all. I realised before I started the video that I'd actually missed out numbering one tray, but them's the breaks. And you can see that the actual ink in them is a very good quantity, so it looks like there's a lot of ink per pen, so that hopefully we get some good use out of it. And on the trays the ink looks pretty consistent with how much it's been filled with, like how far down the barrel. Now the barrels are pretty cheap, they feel cheap, they don't feel as sturdy and as nice as my Signos, but they're certainly not the price of my Uniball Signos. So they feel cheap, they feel like my supermarket ones barrel wise, but they do have that coloured cap end and the coloured tip. And they've got a nice bullet point nib on them. The other thing is with these pens, if you're using the trays, you've got to put the pens back in with the clip to the back, otherwise they fall out of the tray. So this one is going to fall out because I've got the cap to the front here. It's got to be capped to the back, otherwise when you move them they keep falling out all the time. But just as a comparison, that's my Signo. I love these pens. They're really good quality, but they don't have numbers on them either, but they do have a name, which is useful, if you want to replace them or whatnot. And it does have the nib size up the top, whereas these don't, but it looks to be the same sort of nib size to me, just based on, having a look at them. So I'm going to swatch them out, and I've already swatched the first tray. Unfortunately, it didn't film, so this is, I think, my third go at doing this video. So I did my own swatch chart. Now, when you purchase these, if you're going to buy them, it says in the packet, download a swatch chart from the website, but I emailed for that swatch chart and received it, but it's actually a swatch chart for the Shuttle Art pencils in the 100 pack, so it was completely useless for the gel pens in the 180 pack. So I made up my own, numbering them by the tray number and then just numbering the pens in order as they appear in the tray. And I put half black square so I could see what they look like on black. Now the first row is glitter, and you can see on the black that other than the silver, they don't really stand out that much on the black. But you can see the line stroke there that they make, and I had no problems with these going on. They were all going on very clear and there was no problems at all. But you can see that some of the colours are like pretty close in tone. So I don't know that, you know, the 180 colours is such a selling point because they seem to be tonally quite close, a lot of them. But anyway, we'll go and do tray number 2, and I'll probably speed this up because it's 160 to go and it might be pretty boring for you. Now, please excuse any background noise. It is blowing a gale in beautiful Brisbane today, and you might hear some wind blowing things around. Now these are the metallics and they're going on like an absolute dream, and they're actually showing up on the black. So they went on like a dream, really smooth and gliding across the paper. Easier actually than the glitter ones. They were far smoother, these metallic ones. And as you can see, they're showing up on my black a lot more so than the glitter ones were. And there's a far better range of colours in these metallics, I think. So yeah, pretty happy with that. And so far, no problems, knock on wood. So these are the neon ones. And it's not really a match to that barrel, so you really do need to swatch them out. Now, I printed my swatch chart on my home printer, which is an inkjet printer. So the ink sometimes runs or stains. So sometimes you might see a bit of discoloration on an area where I've already swatched on. So for example, over here I'd already swatched on the black component, and then I've transferred ink from the black square that I printed out over onto the white component. So just, it's not the colour that's muddy, it's me picking up ink toner when I'm colouring in. Maybe do the white bit first so we don't get that problem again. Now a few of these ones are a little bit harder to get going. They're not as easier as the first two rows of pencils, or pens that I used. And the other thing I'm noticing is that they're not really showing up that well on the black. So there we have them. The last few in this tray were metallics actually. And you can see the neons aren't really showing up on the black very much at all. I mean, there's something there, but not really a lot. To be honest, I'm not bothered about that because I don't really like neons that much, and I'd probably just use them in like notebooks or things like that. I don't think I'd use them in my colouring books, maybe for some poison or something like that, but I don't see regularly using them unless it was maybe a black colouring book or mandalas or something, but I don't really like the neons that much. The metallics over here, we've got a few, about 5 or 6 metallics in this set here as well, on this tray, and they're quite nice. I just don't know why they weren't organised into like whole metallic trays or whole neon, or I know it'd be extra packaging and whatnot, so they're probably just saving money on that. But so far we've got a bit of a range of colours, but really a lot of them are tonally the same, and we've already in 60 colours, so let's see what the next 100 colours are like. So this is tray number 4. And these are going on super smoothly. This is weird. I've got one pen here and it's got no actual pen. There's no nib. That's weird. So there's actual no nib there at all. So I don't know how that works. But I don't know. Seriously. How can that be? Anyway, okay, I'm going to set that aside and perhaps email Shuttle Art for one of those. But these ones didn't flow as well as the glitter pens and the gel pens, and for the neon part of it, I didn't find them as easy to work with, but I do like that there's different colours. So we've got these lighter creams, etc., which might even be good for light skin toned people if you were doing those. And some of the neons did show up on the black, which hasn't been the case with the other neons that were in the previous row. So, and I'm sure this one would have looked great if it had actually come with a tip, but I've never seen a pen. I've never seen a pen that's come without an actual nib on it. But there's actually nothing there. There's no nib. That's weird. Something's gone wrong in the factory there. Maybe I'll check the box if it's loose in there. There's something wrong with this pen in general because all the ink is outside of the barrel. It's not within the plastic. You can see it's all stained down the side of the barrel. So I'm going to put that one aside and see them about a replacement. I probably won't really use the neon that much, so it's not going to kill me that it's not there, but it is going to drive me mad that my swatch sheet is incomplete because one of those pens is not working. But I am pleased with the lighter skin tone colours that are in here, so these few here that might be good for doing a lighter skin tone if you're using those. And many of the neons, and I think that one that doesn't have a nib on it and has run out of its barrel, I think that would have worked well on the black. This one certainly is working well on the black. And the pink, actually the pinks over here and over here, the oranges, they're actually showing up quite well on the black as well. I noticed that a few of those pinks in all the different lines, now that I'm seeing it in a different light, are actually showing up okay on the black, but they're certainly not standing out in a huge way unless they're like the silver metallics or the metallics in general. So let's continue on with packet number 5. So far, one dud. I forgot to press record on the video. Sorry, so I thought I was recording line number 5, but it turns out I wasn't. So on this line, I had a lot of trouble from 10 back. Well, not a lot of trouble. Just had to change hand position in order to get them flowing. But once I got them flowing, they were absolutely fine. But initially, they were a little bit scratchy. So I just changed the way I was holding the pen and they were fine. Now, they don't really show up that well on the black as compared to the metallics or any of the others. The first couple do, but the rest really don't that much. So far we're not getting this huge range of colours that I was hoping for with 180 colours, because tonally a lot of them are still the same, but we've still got plenty to go through, so we'll see how we go colour-wise. Now number 6 is a glitter range, and we know that because they've got the glitter on the barrel. So these ones all went on really, really well. And they show up well on the page as well. They were all really smooth, and these are a range of glittery ones, and they're actually showing up in real life on the black as well. I don't know whether you can see that in the light, but on the black part of the swatch they're showing up as well. And these ones are glitter as well, and you can see that because the barrel's got glitter on it. These pens aren't as glittery as other gel pens that I have. Well, these all flowed on really well. They're not as glittery as some gel pens that I have, but they've still got a lot of glitter there, but certainly not as glittery as my glitter gel pens from Aldi, for example. But they've certainly got glitter on there. A few of them, which are sort of metallic looking, are showing up very well on the black. It's some like the purple and the blue, etc. It's a little bit too dark and it doesn't show up that well on the black. So now we've only got another 40 colours to go. And so this is tray number 8, the one that I forgot to label. I'm going to have to do that. These are also glitter. They've got the glitter on the barrel. So some of these were a little bit hard to get started, but when they did they were fine. The pinks show up well on the black, as do the yellow and orange and the greens, but the others really not so much. I mean, they show up, but not a whole lot. Now, there's metallics in these as well. You can see the gleam there. But I do think that the glitter ones are not as glittery as my other ones, which is fine. And so now we're down to the last row. And these ones are also glitter, and they've got glitter on the barrel. Now, the thing is, I bought these for a specific book, my Colour by Dots book, to get a better range of colours. And because there's so many, they don't say on the package how many metallics and how many glitters and neons, etc. there are in the packet. But because there are so many metallics and whatnot, I don't know that I'm anywhere further on getting the range of gel pens that I wanted for the colouring book. But we'll have to pop open the colouring book after I finish this and see if there are actually more colours than what looks like at first glance. Because at first glance they kind of look quite similar, except, you know, they're either metallic or glittery or whatnot. There's some different colours here, these lighter pastels. So we've finally got the whole 180 colours swatched. So thanks for sticking with me. And you can see that, again, the metallics go on quite well. They show up on the blacks. The glitter is not that glittery, to be honest. I don't find it that glittery. It is certainly glitter. I mean, you know it's glitter, but there's not a huge amount of glitter in it. There is far more glitter in my Aldi gel pens. Now, I'm not bothered by that because I've got plenty of glittery gel pens, and actually it kind of suits my purpose better if it's not as glittery. There's the 180 colours. So what I'm going to do now is get my Colour by Dots book and try and work out which colours that I can use to colour a picture. And we'll test them out in an actual colouring book. Okay, so now that the swatch is all done, I can get on with choosing the colours for the Colour by Dots book, which is why I bought the markers in the first place. Why I bought the gel pens, sorry. So this is the page from the Colour by Dots book that I wanted to colour. Now, the problem with this Colour by Dots book that I said when I reviewed it is that they don't have the legend down the side or at the bottom of what all the colours are. So you have to peck around trying to work them out. So you can't actually get organised and put all your colours out. You've got to find how many colours that you've got. And you can't even tell at a glance how many colours that you've got, and there's no universal legend, i.e. no set series of colours that's being used throughout the book. So, to be honest, I find that a bit of a pain. Anyway, hopefully we'll be able to find some colours. And if I had that legend that's normally in most colour by numbers books, then I could just run my colour chart right next to it. But in this case, I have to sort of go all over the page kind of looking. And to be honest, even though there's 180 colours here, a lot of them are metallics and glitter or neon, And I really don't think that there's an absolute massive range. And to be honest, I don't know that I'm going to get the colours that I need to colour in the picture. So we'll look for this light blue first. So we've got this one here, that's a glitter one, and a metallic one. This one is far too bluey. This one's too blue as well, but this one's a lighter blue, but it's not really that sky blue. It's more of a... Yeah, so dot one and I can't get a colour. So this is a pain. But of course you can always adjust the colours on any colour by numbers books to suit what you've got, but this is based on a Van Gogh painting, so that's going to be harder. So I think I'm going to go with 3-1 for that first light blue and colour that one in. So with this colour by dots, you sort of go around the dot. I'm going to colour over the dot, and with gel pens, that dot covers completely, whereas with normal pencils, it doesn't really cover it completely. You can still slightly see it, but to be honest, I think pencils and my Crayolas in particular are a better choice. Now the other thing about this Colour by Dots book is a lot of it just doesn't make sense the way they've done it. So for example, all of this is light blue dots. So rather than doing one big shape of light blue, they've divided it into these sections, and I really can't understand why, because the outline is a light grey, so it's not like it's got a black outline where you'd see it like a stained glass or a mosaic-y type look. This is designed to be painterly, so with the light grey it's designed to merge all together, so I don't see the point. Now it is glowing on very well on the paper, but it is leaving pen marks across this particular paper. And I think that's because it stopped working and I gave it a shake, because it's not doing it on this section. And see, I don't get why not just do one big shape? I don't understand that. Anyway, let's just hope we've got enough gel pen to get the job done. But I still think even with those 180 colours, I just don't think the range is, 180 worth of colours, if you know what I mean. It's not like I just got the Copics or whatever, 180 Copics, and there is an actual difference between all of them. I don't know. But I've tried so many different products on this book, and you can see that in the review video on the pinned comment underneath the video description is a list of all the products that I've tried, and gel pens were the best for covering up the little blue dot, which is what I was interested in doing, is covering up the pre-printing of coloured dots on this book, because this one's colour by dot rather than colour by number. I don't know. I think, looking at it, I really think it's just better off doing it with pencils. You've got a far better range of colours, and, they don't run out like these do. Unless someone can recommend a gel pen set that really is a genuine set of different colours, because I really don't find that there's a huge amount, or 180 worth of different colours here. I'm not really interested in the glitter and the sparkles and all the rest of it, because I've got Wink of Stella and stuff like that anyway. So this is another one, like why not just do the whole shape as one thing? I don't understand why they do it like this. They've got 3 blue dots together, so why not just do the shape like that? I could understand it if it was black outlined and you would see the black outline, but I just don't get this. What am I missing? I don't know. But I do have to say that I'm not enjoying it. I'm not enjoying looking for the colours in the gel pens, and you know, my fault for thinking 180 was going to solve my problem. And I really just wish that I'd used my Crayolas that I liked using on this book rather than using the gel pens. The only reason I stopped using the Crayolas was because on some of them, like the light yellow and stuff, I was only using the 50 set, and I don't know that it was dark enough to hide the dot, but I really think this book is much better. Unless you can get a nice range of gel pens, I think it's kind of better suited to pencil, to be honest. It's going on the paper quite well, but these markers are leaving, and the reason why I kept saying pencils are better is because the range of colours, I don't feel that there's the range of colours here. Now also the gel pens are leaving the marks of where you've been colouring as well, so they're leaving like a little white trail mark, which I'm not liking at all either. But the big thing for me is that colour matching, and with 180 gel pens I still don't feel that we're anywhere near the colour matching. The pencils would have been far better. And the other thing is that these gel pens, I don't know if you guys can see, but they're leaving the scratch marks of actual using them on this particular paper. Now it didn't do that on my swatch sheet, so it's probably just a different paper. And that noise is my chair, by the way. It had a bolt thing in it that fell out, and I put it aside to fix, and now I can't remember where we put it. David said he'd fix it, and I've got no idea where he put the thing, but so it keeps sliding around and going from side to side. It's not much fun being in the colouring cave. And if you can hear purring, Millie is in the colouring cave today, and she's in her little cave, and she's singing you a lovely little song. She has been sitting on the couch for the morning, and she was watching her stories, so I put on Law and Order for her, and she was watching that while I was doing housework, and she loves watching that. She sits up on the couch. She's very interested in the justice system, or Blood and Guts, one of them. So her and Charlie both watched their stories, and I did housework. And now she's come back to the colouring cave. I was worried I'd lost her to the couch forever, but I am pleased to see that she's made an appearance. And she's purring. Yeah, so as well as the gel pens and not liking the scratch marks that they're leaving behind on this paper, they didn't do it on my cheap photocopy paper. I'm not liking the look either. It's like really flat, and I really don't like it. I am actually really not enjoying the picture, but I will try and attempt to find one more colour that will go on this picture. So looking at the swatch, See, there's not even like any, I don't know. I'm really, really not liking these. I can't even see like a black, like a real black. There's no black. No black. How can that be? Must be here. Surely. They really should label these gel pens better. It's ridiculous to have to go through this for 180 gel pens. So number 13 in number... So I do the black part of it, but so far I don't think there's the range of colours in this gel pen set for this book, and when they go on they don't glide. So I'll try a bit of the 13, because it might have just been the blue that was not reacting well with the paper, so we'll give that a try. And I will try them on other paper, because colouring book paper varies. It's all pulped and milled at different places, different grades, different pounds, different everything. So just because it's not good on this one doesn't mean it won't be good on something else. And sometimes it can even be, you know, down to the batch or where it's printed. So for example, with Amazon books from KDP or the old Create Space, depending on which printing plant actually printed the book, especially, you know, there's different printing plants in the US, there's plants in the Europe, UK, etc. And depending which printing plant actually printed the book, you'll notice differences in the paper as well. And it even changes on print runs. I think when Joanna Basford first printed Secret Garden, the paper was changed numerous times. So even just in between reprints of books, you'll find that there's different paper. And depending on the facility and where they were printed, etc., you'll find all sorts of variations between paper and in between books. You know, some books have different paper in them, and it's a different weight and has different variables on it from others. So what might work in your Create Space book might not work in my Create Space book, simply because they were printed at different plants and the paper is not the same. Which is really weird that it's not the same, but it's not. The actual black goes on far better than that blue did. The blue left all the white lines from the pen mark, whereas the black goes on like a felt tip pen. So that's way better. What I do want to do is try my uni ball on it and see if there's a different look for that. So I've only got a little bit of blue left in this one, and it's a dark blue, so we'll find some dark blue. And I've got to say, my uni ball is not liking this paper as much as it likes my Spiroglyphics paper. You can feel that the flow is not as fast, and yeah, but it's still going on and it's perfectly hiding the dots. Now obviously it's far more expensive, this Uniball pen, but as far as coverage goes, and none of those little white trail marks, it's a far better pen, far better gel pen than the Shuttle Art blue that I've tried, although the black was pretty good. But it could just be the paper in this book. So I will try them on other books and see how I go. But to be honest, I think I'll do the rest of this book in pencil, and I think I'd get a far better look in pencil than I will with the gel pen. I think the gel pen will look really flat and I won't be able to make it look nice. But anyway, there's my opinion on the Shuttle Art gel pens. I'll be trying those in different books over the next few weeks. I won't give up just because I'm not happy with the blue in this one. I was happy with the black, so, you know, you can't have everything. Even if I don't use them in the colouring books, I might just use them in my diary or lists that I make. I used to have one of those bullet journal things, but I never remembered to look in it. So, but I often write little notes and stuff to myself, so I think they'd be good for that. And I'll also try in my colouring books and see how I go over the weeks to come. And of course, all those glittery gel penny ones will be handy for Christmas colouring. But for this book, I'm going to do the rest in coloured pencils. So that's it from me. Until next time, happy colouring.